Modern day Disney has knocked down all the trees at Magic Kingdom's Tom Sawyer Island and beyond. And now, with all of the trees gone, guess what we see? A very tiny piece of land for the future Villains Land that Disney told us would be so big and so grand. Hello folks, welcome back to That Park Place. It is a magical kind of day every day you choose to be with us. Jonas J. Campbell is here, and Jonas, I think you're some kind of splendid. How be you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. I just have to say, since this is probably the last time that we're going to talk about Tom Sawyer Island here.
The last time?
I mean, it has to be, right? It can only be, the Tom Sawyer Island at Walt Disney World. Let those words ominously hit for all you Disneylanders out there. I like the way you say Tom Sawyer Island, as if it's Tom, a person who saw an island that belongs to you.
Yeah, it's Tom Saw Your Island.
Exactly. But it's a very small island now. I can't even see it in the pictures.
Well, when water is gone, islands tend to disappear.
Yes.
But Jonas, you know what has appeared as those islands have given way to construction crews?
Land.
But not much of it. Land ho! Oh, wait, no. It's just itty bitty little living space for the villains that are going to be going to Magic Kingdom. Jonas, the aerial shots we've got here from Blog Mickey show us, and I guess BioReconstruct, love BioReconstructed the original photos, but it shows Disney has chosen to give us very little for the space we get to have. Folks, you can see it right here. Beyond Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, right? That's what this was supposed to be. To the, in this picture, it's above, but it would be to the east if we were looking at this north to south. But on the picture, above Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, which is between Haunted Mansion, that's going to be where the Cars ride is. And then this little weird shaped kidney bean style thing that's over there that follows the roads and follows the not a river. It's not a river. It's just where the water goes. That's going to be Villains Land. And when you consider how much space a building, a stage takes up, guess what? Show buildings take up a lot of space. That is not very big at all. That's not as big as Frontierland. It's not as big as Fantasyland. It looks like we might be getting a storybook circus kind of area for villains, and I don't think that's what people were expecting. A lot of folks, myself included, thought surely Disney would use some of the land that's north of Fantasyland near the Utilidors. As of now, it doesn't look like they're going anywhere near that, and without that, Jonas, yet again, Disney has bamboozled us yet again. They've gaslit us yet again. This is a land that's going to be little and perhaps too late as well.
Right. The discussion always comes up. Okay, well, Universal is over there. They just did Epic Universe, and everyone says, well, those lands are very small over there at Epic Universe. I would disagree with that. I think they tend to be just the right size to feel large enough that I would actually call it a land. The Lion King area over at Disneyland Paris, they're not even calling that a land. They're calling that an area now. The difference between land and area, not quite sure what that would be here. But I was thinking the largest expansion in Disneyland history, which is, of course, just a reconstitution of areas that are already there. That doesn't seem very large when you look at it from this perspective. So it also, as it often does, here's the Haunted Mansion and here's Big Thunder Mountain, and it really reveals how close by these two are to each other, even though they felt like they were worlds apart. But of course, now they've put up these fences here so that you can't see Big Thunder from the queue of Haunted Mansion. I just have to say, right now, with the current state of Imagineering, I don't have a lot of hope for whatever's going into Villains Land. I've seen the pictures of what they're saying they're using for inspiration, but the more and more I see out of current Imagineering and what they just did with Better Zootopia, sorry, that's just going to be called Zootopia 3D. It's just not. They're not living up to the standards of Imagineering of the past. I would say they're better with innovation than they are with storytelling, despite Bob Iger's statements about Imagineering.
Well, it boggles the mind, the kind of opportunity that they waste every time. Folks, if you look at that canal that's in the picture, why would they not reroute that canal so that it goes parallel with the road up there, right, towards Reims? Why would they not? Why would they not run that? Because they could reroute it right now. This is the opportunity. They could reroute the canal and gain tons of land, tons of opportunity to expand. And instead, they've got this very strange shape going to it. And I have to say that I'm worried now based on this shape, because I think that at the access point where they'll often bring in the school bands and stuff, if they're going to play the marching band through Disney World, they'll bring them in through this access that's behind Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. It's also where the parade comes in. It finishes the day at Splash Mountain and rolls in back there. That access point, I'm worried that that's where they're going to put the show building for Villains Land. It's tucked away. And the problem there is that if they do that, they've got this big giant thing. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad has a lot of track on the backside. And part of the fun of Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is that you feel like you are actually, in the Wild West, and you feel, it's a very immersive experience. If now you're riding back there and you see, these giant show buildings, these giant storage buildings where rides are tucked away, that's going to be a big problem. Yeah. So if you scroll in there, Jonas, on Floridian Way and Caribbean Way.
Mm-hmm. This is Caribbean right here, and this is Floridian.
Right. So that where those two meet on the east side, that's where I believe they're probably going to put the show building for Villains Land. The problem with that is that would make it look like, how bad the Tron building looks if you're in New Fantasyland or you're in Storybook Circus. I mean, it's really a hideous thing. It's a giant Lego box. Mm-hmm. I don't want that right next to Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, and I think that's what they're going to do. But if you look at that, Jonas, see all that land that is between Floridian Way and Magic Kingdom. All that land, they could have rerouted the canal to follow along with the road, and they could have freed up a ton of space, and they could have put something really huge. And they're choosing not to. And once they do this, my fear is that they'll block off all of that land. And again, I don't know what Disney is thinking with. They're not good at conserving the property that Walt put his hopes and dreams into. They're really bad at misusing it and kind of locking themselves into a plot of land when they have all the land to expand they could ever want, and yet they treat it as if it's Disneyland, where, oh man, we just can't go anymore. Well, because you chose to.
Right. It reminds me of the changes that they made to MGM, which is now Disney's Hollywood Studios, and those changes were for the better in some ways, but they also destroyed some of the Imagineering integrity, a little bit of the magic of the park. There was a giant, quote unquote, hidden Mickey in the parks that had to go away in order for that sunset area to be there. Of course, we get Fantasmic and we get Tower of Terror. So all is forgiven there. We just don't know what's going in this area in any way that makes it seem like it's going to be worth it. Right now, it looks like we're going to get a dirt track ride, which
fake dirt track ride
a few miles from my house that I can go to right now that I'm going to imagine is a more thrilling experience than whatever could be here at Disney. But
we hope it's good, Jonas. We hope it's good. It's just now that they've cleared all the trees, it's pretty obvious to anybody who looks at it. Man, there's not a lot of space here to do some of the things that we wanted to do.
Yeah, the thing they're mostly worried about, of course, is making sure that they have some kind of very expensive restaurant and merchandise experience. And you don't need a giant show building for that, do you?
No, you don't need a giant show building for that. I think that Villains Land is going to be, it's going to be whatever they choose for it to be in a couple years, because I don't think that they're anywhere near having it locked down. I think we're about to get the Cars ride, and then they're going to see, like, how did that do? And I think we're into the 2030s on some of this development. So I don't want to poo-poo it. I don't want to, they can do a lot in a little bit of land. Disney can. They've figured out how to do that with Disneyland. So it's possible that they make this grandiose, but I just look at some of these decisions they're making where they're getting rid of classic attractions and they're putting stuff in places where you're like, why would you not put it on this side versus that side? Anyway, it almost appears to me, Jonas, as if every step of the way they're trying to save money and get as many Benjamins as they can from families, as opposed to making something great that honors the past.
I totally agree with you, and I've nothing that I could say to really add to that, other than to point out that Epic Universe has already filed for permits for their first expansions, And I think that they are hot on Disney's heels here. And it's taken a long time for Universal Studios, Universal Creative to get in that mode. And I think that they have the crown right now, whether or not Disney realizes it's not sitting on Disney's head at this moment. Disney is the secondary theme park company in Orlando, not by legacy, not by size, but they're just there, and they're taking a nap. They're the hare who has taken the nap while the tortoise has caught up, and the tortoise is picking up speed, guys. You got to catch up, but you have to catch up with quality, which is Disney's got to get back there.
R.I.P. Tom Sawyer Island. Jonas, I hope this is not the last video about Tom Sawyer Island. Maybe we can, just for old time's sakes, talk about Disneyland's version a few times. Is that okay with you?
I would love to talk about Disneyland's version, but I worry that the reason that we're going to be talking about it is not going to be a very happy reason.
Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby. Folks, you can put something on us. It's the like button. Share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And until the next time, we have the joy, the pleasure, and the honor of spending time with you. Folks, this is TPP News, where all the news should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.